Hey guys, welcome back to Just Simply Sisters. Today we have 3 vegan recipes to share that are perfect for any summer dinner with your family and friends. We have a pasta salad, jackfruit pulled pork sandwiches, and a berry lemonade.
So the first recipe we'll be starting out with is the pasta salad. So just fill up a large pot with a bunch of water and then put it to a boil. I just threw mine on the max setting so it goes by fast. And then just cover that with a lid. So once the water has reached a boiling point, just add in some pasta. We used a whole package of some white bow tie pasta, but you can use whatever pasta you like. And then we just gave it a stir and put the lid on it. So cook the pasta for 10 to 15 minutes until it's al dente. Make sure it's not too soft so it stays firm when you mix it with all the other ingredients. And next just pour the pasta into a strainer and then run it under some cold water for about a minute or so. And next just pour the pasta into a large bowl. Make sure it's big enough to fit all your other ingredients. And now just throw in half of a large cucumber chopped. And now add 1 medium bell pepper chopped. Now add 3/4 of a cup of cherry tomatoes that are sliced in half. And lastly, add half a cup of mini dill pickles that are chopped. And just mix that for a little bit until all the vegetables are mixed in with the pasta. And now just add 1 tablespoon of dried dill. You could also use fresh dill, but we only had dried. And now add any type of Italian dressing. We just used an olive oil and vinegar one from Newman's Own. And then just drizzle it all over your salad. We added probably like half a cup, but you can add as much as you'd like. And then just mix it in onto the salad till it's all well combined. And you can just store this in the fridge while you prepare the rest of your meal. And this pasta salad is amazing for anything like a lunch or a family barbecue. It's super fast and easy.
The main part to our meal is going to be jackfruit pulled pork sandwiches. So to start off, we're going to do the coleslaw first. To a large bowl, you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of vegan mayonnaise, 2 cloves of garlic that are minced, then add the juice of 1 lime. We just used our juicer here. You can also add lemon juice instead if you don't like the bitterness of lime. Next, add 1 tablespoon of agave. You can also use honey or maple syrup instead, and 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. Then you can add salt and pepper to taste, however much you would like. Then whisk it all together using a fork until all the ingredients are combined into the dressing for the coleslaw. Then 1 handful at a time, just add the coleslaw cabbage mix in until it fills the whole bowl, and then just gently toss it all together in the dressing, and you can just store it in the fridge while you make the jackfruit pulled pork. For the meat part of the sandwiches, we are going to use canned jackfruit either in water or brine. You will need 2 cans, and you are going to drain it into a strainer and rinse it with cold water. Next, you're going to chop the jackfruit into small bite-sized pieces. To do that, you are going to cut off the harder core and keep the more softer part that will be shredded as pulled pork. The harder core is not really as edible, so you can just throw that out. Once you're done chopping it up, you can put it into a bowl, and we're going to fry it in a pan. So to a large pan, you're going to add a drizzle of olive oil and just let it heat up on medium heat. Once it's heated, you can add all of the jackfruit into the pan and just toss it in the olive oil. Then we're going to add our spices right away. 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and we're just going to toss the jackfruit and the spices using a spatula to get it all coated. And then I also forgot to add 1 teaspoon of cumin that you could have added at the same time. So just add that to the jackfruit as well, and then toss it to combine one more time. While you are tossing it and letting it cook, you want to start breaking apart the jackfruit pieces so it turns into shreds that kind of look like pulled pork, as you can see here. You can use a spatula or a fork. Next, we decided to add a little bit of liquid smoke, but that's definitely optional just to give it more of a meaty or smoky flavor, and let it cook for about 3 to 4 more minutes. Next, you will add the vegan barbecue sauce. We didn't really measure here, we just drizzled it on and tossed it to see how much more we would need to coat it all. So we added a little at first and then we ended up adding more. You can add as much or little of barbecue sauce as you would like, just depending on how saucy you want the jackfruit to be. And we just let it cook and we toss it a little bit in the sauce. And after about 5 minutes of cooking, it becomes thickened and the jackfruit looks much more meatier and delicious. And that's when you know it is done. Now you can turn off the heat and remove the jackfruit from the pan and just put it into a large bowl so we can begin preparing our sandwiches. To serve, you can use any buns that you have on hand. We use ciabatta buns from Costco, and then you can add a few scoopfuls of the jackfruit pulled pork, however much you want on the sandwiches, and then you can add the coleslaw on top and you will have your sandwiches. This recipe will make about 6 sandwiches in total, depending on how much you put on each one, but it should feed a large family, or you can just double the recipe. If you are having a bunch of people over, I think this is the perfect recipe to share with your family and friends. The jackfruit is so incredibly meaty and delicious, and it's perfect to get people on board with some vegan comfort food recipes.
And for the last part of our meal is a berry tea lemonade. We just used a jug from David's Tea that has a steeper built in. And to start, just set a kettle of water to a high boil. So first, just add whatever tea you would like to the steeper of your jug. We used a blackberry blizzard tea from David's Tea, and we used about half of a 50-gram bag. And then we just twisted it on top of our jug and just set it in there while our water boils. So once the water is boiling, just add it to the jug. I like to fill it about halfway because you'll be adding ice for the other half. And now just add about 1/8 of a cup of agave to the water. You can either do this before or after you steep the tea. And then just add the lid to the tea and let it steep for about 5 to 8 minutes or however long it says on your tea bag. And so once your tea is done steeping, just open it up and set the top aside. And next, just add a bunch of ice. I probably used about 3 to 4 cups here just because it melts down so fast with the hot tea. And next, juice about half a lemon into your lemonade. You can use half a lemon to 1 full lemon depending on how lemony you like it and how much tea you made. And then since the ice melted down just a little bit, I added the rest of it in there. And then just stir it all together until it's all nice and cool. I had tested mine at this point and I realized I needed a little bit more sugar, so I just added about 1 more tablespoon of agave and stirred it all together. And now once the taste is to your liking, just add the lid back onto the tea jug and then pour it into some cups filled with about half a cup of ice. And then to top it off, I like to just garnish mine with half a sliced lemon. And now your tea lemonade is ready to serve. This drink is honestly an amazing refresher during the summertime if it's super hot out or if you're just feeling like something fruity.
Once everything is made, you can combine it all into the perfect summer meal that we really hope you'll try out with your family and friends this summer. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.